Young Chul is a South Korean serial killer, sex offender, and self-confessed cannibal. After he admitted to the murders of multiple people, mostly prostitutes and wealthy old couples, the Seoul Central District Court convicted him of 20 murders, burned 3 and mutilated at least 11 of his victims, and admitted that he ate the livers of some of them. He committed his crimes between September 2003 and July 2004. Yu explained his motives in front of a TV camera, saying, "Women shouldn't be sluts, and the rich should know what they've done." Yu was married in 1992 and had 1 son. He was previously convicted 14 times for various charges and served a total of 7 years in prison prior to his string of murders. On September 24, 2003, Yu broke into the home of a wealthy couple. The homeowner, a university professor named Lee Deok-soo, was stabbed in the neck with a knife. He and his wife were then bludgeoned to death with a hammer. Yu staged the scene to look like a murder motivated by robbery, but nothing was stolen. Yu struck again on October 9. Having forced his way into another house, he smashed a grandmother's head in with his hammer. The homeowner's wife ran down the stairs and encountered her mother-in-law's killer. Yu kicked her in the stomach and demanded to know if there were more people in the house. She said that her husband and son were upstairs. He proceeded to bludgeon her skull and then ran into her disabled son. Yu forced him to kneel down and hammered him to death. Another killing took place on October 16. Yu Jun-hee, the wife of a millionaire, was threatened with a knife after Yu broke in. He dragged her into the bathroom and bludgeoned her. She was found by her son but later died. Yu forced his way into one more home on November 18. The housekeeper, Bae Ji-hai, asked him who he was. Upon getting there, he found the homeowner, Kim Jong-suk, lying in bed. Yu immediately hammered him to death. Bae, who had been holding a baby she was taking care of, tried to protect the infant. He took the child from her, placed it on the sofa, and covered it with a blanket. He then fatally bludgeoned her. After accidentally cutting himself while trying to open a safe, Yu set the house on fire to destroy any possible DNA evidence. Fortunately, the baby was rescued. On December 11, 2003, Yu began dating an escort. At some point, however, she discovered his criminal record and told him not to see her ever again. This enraged him and motivated him to start murdering again. On February 9, 2004, he killed Chung Young-dae, a street vendor, and set his van on fire. On March 16, he fatally choked Kwon Jin-hee, dismembered her corpse, and dumped her remains on a trail near Sogang University. He murdered another street vendor, An Jae-sun, on April 14 for selling fake Viagra to him. In May, Yu lured an escort to his apartment. He then bludgeoned her unconscious with his hammer and decapitated her in his bathroom. He smashed her head, mutilated her body, and buried the rest. He used this new MO on 8 more prostitutes and escorts. 2 days after committing his final murder, Yu was arrested. He had raised suspicion by calling a massage parlor where several employees had recently gone missing after receiving similar phone calls. He confessed to the killings. He also escaped from custody after pretending to have a seizure. However, he was captured 12 hours later. Yu first appeared in court on September 6, 2004. He apologized to the families of his victims but maintained that he had no intention of stopping his murders. 2 weeks later, he lunged at 3 judges. Yu was supposed to appear in court again on October 4, but he had attempted to kill himself the night before. He attacked a spectator 3 weeks later for cursing him and later agreed not to cause any more commotion in the courtroom. On December 13, he was found guilty and sentenced to death. Yu was convicted of 20 murders and is currently incarcerated at Seoul Detention Center. In the beginning, Yu attacked wealthy elderly people. he would break into their homes and beat them to death with a hammer. After doing this, he made the crime look like a robbery murder, even though he did not take any money. Later, you started killing prostitutes and escorts. He would lure them to his home, beat them unconscious with a hammer, and decapitate them in his bathroom. He usually dismembered and mutilated the bodies, then buried them. In addition, 2 street vendors were murdered. You said that he sometimes removed his victims' livers and ate them, but it has never been proven if he actually did so. He also pretended to be a cop, using a forged police ID. He burned some of the victims' bodies. Other times, you stabbed his victims and choked one of them. He often wore a yellow raincoat and baseball cap during the killings. If you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe.